What's up, guys? Ricky here. Do you love Most Valuable Podcasts? And are you like myself where things that you like, you just have to let people know because they've got to be on your t-shirt at all times? If you do, you're in luck because we got Most Valuable Podcast t-shirts. You've probably seen myself, Dave, Mark, Sean, Brandon. You might have seen us wearing these t-shirts in videos. The good thing is now you can get your hands on one too. How do you do so? First off, send us an email, mostvaluablepodcast@gmail.com. Give us your name, your size, your address. We will then send you an invoice through Square. That's how you'll pay for it, $22 per shirt. And then after we get the money, we will send you a great Most Valuable Podcast t-shirt for you to wear so you can tell everybody that you love listening to Most Valuable Podcast. So go check it out. The directions are also in the description. What are you waiting for? We got the shirts just for you.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with player 2, Johnny Karlic.
Glass tables be acting weird tonight.
I like that line.
I did too.
Did you like what I did there? You know, player 1, player 2.
I didn't
game
even
night
get
thing
it.
going on.
Are you
Game
sure?
Night.
Yeah.
Welcome to our review of Game Night, movie coming out this week. Johnny and I saw it on Thursday, giving you our thoughts today. If you're new to our movie review, this is how it works. First, we kind of dive into a non-spoilery part where we kind of give general thoughts about the movie, things we liked, things we didn't. Then we will say, hey, we're jumping over into spoiler mode. We're going to spoil the crap out of this movie. And at the end, we're going to give our rating out of game pieces for this one. And then we're also going to give our MVP, which we call our show stealer, for the review. Before we get into everything, a little bit of housekeeping here at the beginning. Number one, you want to help support us, make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Any little bit helps. If you want to get some MVP merch, check the store down below in the description. Make sure to bookmark mostvaluablepodcast.com. That's where you're going to get everything for MVP each and every day. And last but not least, if you're on iTunes, go ahead and give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. It would really mean the world to us and help us do more movie reviews like we're doing right now. Yeah. But Johnny, Game Night, tell me, what do you think? What do you think after seeing Game Night?
It was interesting. I honestly didn't have, I'll be honest, I didn't have high expectations going in.
Did you expect it to be as fun as it was?
No, I did not.
I did not.
Did not at all. A lot of twists.
What a twist.
What a twist.
It did. It did have a lot. Like, and that's
a lot more than I expected there to be too. That was the big part.
And that's the thing I loved about the movie, to where it felt like, hey, we're gonna take a comedy and we're gonna infuse murder mystery into it. Not just the fact of the plot, which was basically, hey, we're basically someone's kidnapped, we gotta find them, but just the whole like murder mystery aspect of like you're thinking one thing and then like you said, bam, twist, and you're like, oh, okay, I was wrong. There were some parts where I'm like, that I said like, yeah, blah, blah, and it's like, all right, saw that coming. But then there was other parts where it's like, whoa, did not see that coming, and it was a twist.
And you know how like a lot of horror movies have jump scares?
Yes.
We have more so jump jokes,
yes.
Jump hilarities, and I'll get into more of those in spoiler mode.
Do you think that's kind of playing off of the horror genre and kind of poking fun at it?
I think it might be.
Okay.
Because like I said, in spoiler mode, if you guys decide to stay around for it, or when you guys decide to come back for it, is when I'll reveal what I'm talking about with that.
No, I mean, this was one where I came in thinking one thing, left with an completely different impression of it. It's a movie where, of course, it's not going to be like the superhero movies we watch, like Black Panther. It's not going to be one where I'm enticed with the story. The story was good. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not one where it's like I'm looking at every little single detail about the movie. I thought it was very funny. Were there some low points in it? Maybe a little bit. Like, the thing I loved most about it was, and we'll get to this right in spoiler mode, this might be the thing to carry us on through, was the beginning of it. How the movie started. I loved how quickly they were just like, here's how it goes, and it's boom, boom, boom. off to the races right away. Didn't wait for me.
We didn't need a slow introduction for this movie.
It didn't wait for me to get involved in it. It was like, here you go. Boom, 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 boom. That's what you're going to do. But we're going to move over into spoiler mode now. Like Johnny said before we hit the record button, this was not going to be a long non-spoiler mode. So if you haven't seen the movie, you can go ahead, hit that pause button. We'll be here waiting for you. But Johnny, that's the first thing I want to look into here in spoiler mode is the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Love the beginning. Loved it right away.
Great.
Like at first, I'll be honest, it's like, okay, trivia night. All right. I love how they made Rachel McAdams' character and Jason Bateman's character basically the same person.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're the team going to trivia night at the local bar.
They're team captain for a reason.
Taking it way too seriously when the one guy's like, it's just a game, and he said something like, yeah, for losers or something like that. Or Jason Bateman had a better way of saying it.
Yeah.
He's funnier than I am. And then that moment I loved how they did the camera work of when they come face to face, and it's like one shot of them together, then her one shot, him one shot, and how they tied that all together.
Yeah.
Then it goes to their wedding, and then boom, they're into the actual story. I like how it kind of picked me up right away with, hey, boom, this is how they met. There you go.
Yeah. And then it's like just right into the story. Okay. And then it's cool because it's just, I mean, there was a little montage of like them getting together, them starting life together, them getting engaged and married. Yeah.
And the engagement happened at a game night where they charades, and she's like, marry me, and he's like, will you?
She's like looking around, it's like, I got it, and he goes,
yeah, and he's got the ring box.
Yeah.
It was funny how now that we're in spoiler mode, I'm just going to jump to the end.
Yeah,
bringing it full circle. How at the end of the movie, how did they find out that she was pregnant? Charades.
Well, no, it was Pictionary.
Pictionary. All right, that's right. It wasn't
because she drew
the bun and then the oven
in the oven.
So
and he goes, wait, really?
So full circle there at the end. What other parts of this movie going on after the beginning? What's one part you want to jump into?
Let's see. So we had the beginning. We had game night. Let's first talk about. I'm gonna get the actors.
Fellman's, the security guard. Is that who you're thinking about?
The cop, but
because that's who I was thinking. Not the security guard, the cop. You're thinking of Jesse Fellman's, who was Gary. Great character. I'm going to be honest right now.
So you guys having game night?
I am going to be completely honest right now for you guys watching and listening. I'm spoiling this for you in spoiler mode. He's not going to be a show stealer, but he came really damn close.
Yes, he did.
The best part about him was when they went into his house. That whole scene, by the way,
was hilarious.
Perfect, like everything about it. Like there were some points in this where I'm like, that is funny.
Tell me about Debbie.
Yeah, tell me about Debbie. And when Jason Bateman goes into his room and he's got the shrine to Debbie.
Yeah.
And then he's on the computer. And the blood starts dripping on the dog. And right away I'm like, oh no, it's on the rug. And then the duck's on. I'm like, oh my God, it's on the dog. Oh no, what's he going to do? Like there was a little bit of you that's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Is he going to find him? Like that kind of feeling you get in a horror film. But then there was also that feeling of it being a comedy and you laughing at the same time.
Yeah.
It was two emotions that I didn't think would go together.
But they did.
In the same movie.
It was intense because you don't know if he's going to get caught. I loved him in this because he played his part perfectly, just the kind of really creepy for most of it.
No, with the cat too.
The dog.
Oh, yeah, the dog, Bastion.
Yeah.
I was like, every time he said Bastion, I thought of, I thought of Overwatch Bastion, but he was just like,
I mean,
you know, they say that you should check your mail in the afternoon of the day
most people check it in the afternoon, but I checked it in the evening because sometimes the postman comes late, saves an unnecessary walk to the mailbox.
I see you got 3 bags of Tostitos scoops there. Yeah, 3-for-1 deal. I don't know how profitable that is for Frito-Lay. Or I don't know how Frito-Lay's making a profit off of that.
My favorite part of all that, it reminded me very much of Silence of the Lambs.
I like how at the end they tied it to him as well with the the red string that you would have. Yeah.
At the end there. My favorite part of all of his creepiness was when it reminded me of Silence of the Lambs. I'll say that first now.
Okay.
Oh, where are you guys going? When they go, they're going to his brother's. That's a shame. I was going to invite you over for some lamb shanks, marinated in red wine and oregano, and I think it was whatever spice it was. And he just keeps describing it slowly.
The best after
great.
that
Thanks,
was
though,
it was an old recipe that Debbie left behind. I like to think that she left it behind to leave something behind of her. But it was probably just a miscommunication and a mistake.
Yeah, no, where he thinks that at first he's like,
it was just an oversight.
Yeah, as a gesture of goodwill.
Yeah, gesture of goodwill.
But instead, it's probably just an oversight.
Oh man, he was so creepy.
It was, but that part right there when he described the lamb shanks, like he basically gave you the recipe and how he cooked it.
Or the one part that made me giggle a little bit was. I can't remember her name, Michelle, I want to say it was, where she was like, yeah, we want to have game night at your house. And she's like, yeah, you were always better at games than Debbie was. Don't you dare talk bad about Debbie. That girl is a saint. Yeah, no, you're right. She was a lot better than you. I was like, the way he was just like, don't you dare talk bad. Don't you dare talk bad about Debbie like that. And it just made me laugh. And that led into the scene that we see in the trailers where it's like, he just goes, does he want us to follow us in there? I don't know. Hey, you go first.
That was hilarious because it's just like he disappears into the house.
You know who's another character I liked in this one? Ryan. He was the one that had the Instagram models as dates. And then had Sarah, who was completely different than...
He just did it for game night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a character that I loved because he was, to me, the modern version of that 70s show, of Kelso.
Yeah.
He was Kelso of Game Night. That was basically, he wasn't as dumb as Kelso. Michael Kelso. I'm like, it's not Eric. Eric's Foreman. Ricky, get it right. He was Michael Kelso of Game Night, but not as dumb, because the thing that made me go like this at the end was when they're panning through the different things for the cast and the credits. Did you know this? Did you see the school it said for his ID?
Harvard.
I was like, what? He went to Harvard? That character went to Harvard? He got into Harvard? How? Overall, I loved his character, especially when they were in he kept bringing up Rich Man Fight Club, man. Stop bringing up Rich Man Fight Club. To where they get there and his eyes light up.
I was right.
Yeah, I was right. And then with the egg. Does anyone know this guy? Yeah, I'm, you know me. Yeah, come on. You know me. No,
I'm the
really
CEO
don't.
of...
And then he just runs.
Interdime or something like that. I forgot exactly what he said.
No, I don't know. And the guy who was the rich guy was Robin Scherbatsky's father.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of other things.
Denny Huston.
Yeah, you and I talked about him after the movie, but no, the Ryan...
Only because I couldn't figure out, I know that face. What is it from? Wonder Woman, for one.
Yes, he was
before that,
one of the villains.
Some people might give me flack just for even saying this one. Wolverine.
Yes, he was Stryker, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Stryker.
Here's the thing I liked about this movie, and this is a cast thing as a whole.
Yeah.
The cast, when it was either together, like the group of friends together, along with Kyle Chandler, who was Brooks. That was the brother of Max, Jason Bateman's character. Together, chemistry was phenomenal between them, but I love how they split them off into the groups, and we saw the chemistry between the individual ones as well, where you had Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman, phenomenal chemistry. You had Lamorne Morris and Kylie Bunbury, and their chemistry together. Their story... That was Michelle and Kevin. Yeah. Was heavily fueled. And I don't know how you felt about this. I thought it was funny throughout. The whole, it's like, you slept with a celebrity? No, I was taking a drink unrelated to the game. It was totally unrelated to the game. And then it's like, the whole movie is he's trying to guess which celebrity she slept with.
Yes. No, I thought that was hilarious too because
and then when it finds out it wasn't even Denzel. It was not even Denzel.
Yep. Nope. When you zoom in, you can notice it by the nose, right?
Yeah. My only gripe with that.
Yeah.
For me, this isn't a big gripe, by the way. This is just Ricky getting nitpicky to be nitpicky. Part of me when Kevin's character kept doing the Denzel impersonation, part of me was just like, all right, if we knew in the script there was going to be Denzel impersonations, why didn't we just get Jay Farrow from SNL to be Kevin? Why didn't we just pay the money to have him be Kevin? Because his Denzel is like...
spot on.
Don't get me wrong. Morris's was good. But Farrow's Denzel is like spot on Denzel. That's what I would have went with. It would have made it more believable of like I don't know why you need Denzel. You got Denzel right here. Because then it would have been like, oh, wow, he's so good at the impersonation. He is Denzel. You don't need Denzel. You really do have him there. Like I said,
nitpicky to be nitpicky.
Minor thing that thing doesn't even play into the final rating. It was just one thing that I thought of during it. What do you want to bring up? What's something that we haven't talked about that you think we should?
Oh, like I said in the non-spoiler part, for those of you who waited long enough to hear it,
when I didn't skip ahead,
kind of like the jump scare-ish thing I was talking about. It's more of a jump joke.
The homage to horror films.
Yes. The main one that I want to point out is like when they've originally saved Brooks from the
first time.
When
they're in the bar.
She's just waving the gun around. It's a fake one. And then she shoots. It's a fake gun. Bam. Oh my God. Drops it. Bam. You shot me.
And then it's like, what's that? Click, 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 click. I think that's bone. Wait, is that
Did you get shot twice?
Did you get shot twice? My favorite part of that scene, by the way.
Exit wound.
My favorite part of that scene, though, is he's got the chew toy in his mouth and he spits it right at her and hits her in the face with it. I don't remember what she did. Was that when she was actually digging into?
No, I think it's when before she did the cut. She has her phone. They're arguing about that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
and then
because she dumps the alcohol in it, which is cheap champagne.
Yeah,
because they didn't have hard alcohol.
That made me laugh a lot when he spit the chew toy right out at her. I thought they were gonna make an operation joke there.
Yeah,
and I was a little bummed they didn't.
Right?
Like, I expected a movie like Game Night to at least have a little operation type joke.
Yeah, actually,
for that
I didn't think about that, but that would have been a great time to have the joke. Because you're trying to pull
something, it wasn't there, but you're trying to pull something out of the body without hitting the edges. Yeah. It's operation. However...
No, that's a big cut. That's a big cut.
She made a huge cut on his arm.
Yeah.
And that's why it started bleeding all over Bastion.
Yeah.
But no, their chemistry was probably the best in the movie.
I think so. I completely agree.
I loved Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman in this. I'll be honest. Again, I said it to you after the movie. I think 2018 for myself is going to have a trend that I'm going to call Andy Serkis. Like Ricky's movies, his show stealers are going to get Andy Serkis because, another spoiler, Kyle Chandler, not my show stealer. Originally, early on in the movie, I'm thinking he's going to be my show stealer. I love him early on. But what happens? He gets kidnapped and he's not in it for a while. So I'm like, oh, great.
Ricky's show stealer's good.
I just got Andy. Because in Black Panther, I was like, oh, Andy Serkis is going to be my show stealer. And then, boom, he's not in the movie for half of it. I'm like, great. God, why did I even think about him as a show stealer?
And the funny part is, in spoilers for Black Panther, in case you didn't see it.
Yeah, thanks.
I know we're in spoiler mode. Say that. I'm just going to say.
Why would people come to Game Night for spoilers about Black Panther? Like, I should have said
exactly.
That.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll at least cover myself for it. When what was his name?
Which one?
Killmonger.
Oh, yeah.
Kills Andy Serkis's character. Well, Ricky decided. If you go check out our other podcast for
just give it to the...
He gave it to the one who killed it. It's just the one who replaces it, right, Ricky?
Yeah.
The one who replaces the person.
This one's a little different because Brooks didn't die in the end. I got a question for you.
Yes.
At the very end of the movie, they're at Game Night. at Brooks's new place.
Yes.
He's got the house arrest, the beepy thing on his ankle.
Yeah.
He mentions how, the white list, I sold it for about, what, $30,000, he said?
I thought he said like $1 million.
Okay, $1 million. No, that was it, $1 million.
And
then
each one was...
he tipped off each person on the list for $20K.
Yeah.
Each. So he's like, he made a ton of money.
Yeah, he did.
Now, they pan out of the window. We see kidnappers in a van.
Mm-hmm.
Are they setting up a game night too? Is that what you think? Or
I think
is that just an homage to, hey, you know what? Game night, Brooks probably called the same service to do it right. And that's like, oh, it's going to be another kidnapping, but this time it's not going to be as bad as it was.
I think they purposely did that to leave it open-ended, so it's like you can either think one of two things. You can either think of both of those ways.
What did you think, though? That's
what did I think?
Because I was confused by it.
I was too a little bit. I'm like, well, that's what I thought. It's like, are they setting up for a second one, or are they just like homaging it so that
my
it's
question
like,
is, why do the same? If you're going to set up for 2, why do the same thing again?
Because the brother still did something stupid.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
And just setting up for... I mean, no, we never heard what happened with
the Bulgarian.
We never heard what happened with the Bulgarian. He just left him tied to his own face.
Tied to his crotch.
Face to crotch.
That was
give you a bungee cord. The first thing you'll do is to pervert.
Oh, that was a one-liner that got me. Give you a bungee cord and you go right to the pervert place. Right to the pervert place. That was a line that when he said that. Also, when Brooks's character was like, and now the game is complete. You've learned your valuable lesson. Tyler, go ahead, stand up. No, I'm kidding. That'd be cool if I wasn't, though, right?
You're a dick.
Because, I mean, there were so many of those. That I feel was the director and the writer saying, let's throw one more at him.
Let's throw a bunch.
Let's throw one more and make it seem like, hey, you know what? This one is for real.
Basically, let's really fuck with the audience because, okay, so it is like layer on layer on layer because you had Brooks's initial one where he hired a company to do it.
And then the real kidnappers come in.
The real kidnappers come in. But that was actually Gary. He not necessarily hired, but he gave 2 guys on parole some time shaved off in order to do that for him because he wanted to be included in game night again.
This girl ran my car. She ran me with a car.
She hit me with her car.
Oh man.
No, but that was actually a great scene too. Because pull up, it was all blanks, right?
Yeah. He's like, no, my guys were shooting blanks.
Okay, so shoot them all? Okay. And they're like, wait, what? And then he pulls up.
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Because
I think I scratched the finish on my car.
He's like, how'd you get shot? All my guys had blanks. And Brooks is like, gun. That was my gun. I even like during the whole entire fight scene where Brooks is trying to fight off the kidnappers and they think it's all part of like the show.
Yeah.
So like Jason, and this is in the trailer as well. Oh, have you guys tried the Gouda? Oh, the Gouda's really good.
You guys should try this cheese.
Like even going back to your jump scare thing.
Yeah.
We got one of those when he comes out of the bathroom. You're thinking, oh, is he going to get kidnapped? Boom. There's Brooks with a knife.
Yeah.
Why do you have that big a knife? It's for the cheese. Wow, it just seems like a reasonably big knife to have there.
It's a really aggressive way to carry a knife.
Very much like, hey, here's a horror aspect, and now we're going to make fun of it.
Yes.
We're going to make fun of that horror aspect. No, but that was the first twist. So the real kidnappers, then the Gary.
Then Gary's kidnappers. And then the Bulgarian actually shows up.
Yep.
Which is, let me finish that one part for them real quick. So Gary shows up, shoots the 2 guys, and then he final stand shoots Gary in the chest.
Yeah.
Bleeding out the mouth, fake blood, spits on the... Is that a clot? That's how you do game night.
That's how you do game night.
What?
Blood capsule.
Exactly.
Yeah, the blood capsule in the mouth. And then the Bulgarian shows up and shoots him.
Right here.
Yep.
So at least it's not a lethal shot, but it's like, oh shit, Gary's out.
Yeah, just shoots him right away.
Yep.
And like...
Well, can't have a cop doing anything about things.
Another funny scene looking forward where she's by the conveyor belt.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, the belt, and she's
Charade it.
Charade it to me, and it's like and she's like, oh, the belt, and she hits slams the button, and thinking it's gonna go quick and fall quick. The best part of it, the guy looks up and steps back.
He doesn't step back once though. He steps back, steps back one more time,
and then it falls.
Yeah,
that is comedy to where it's like, okay, easy joke there, but I like it.
Yeah, and then thunk.
The one thing I will say that was the only part to me that was classic Jason Bateman.
Yeah,
was. I want to say it was right before the Feldman twist, or it might have been after the Gary twist.
This is the Gary twist, I think.
Yeah, where he's like, all right, now I gotcha. Here we're going again. Another fake going on. Where it's like, I looked at that and I'm like, that's a Jason Bateman line. Every single character that he has had that kind of scene where
the skepticism.
Like, all right, the wool is pulled over my head, guys. All right, the gig is up. We know what's going on here, and then it ends up to be real.
It's basically the skepticism when something shit's going real, getting real,
and then when the actual real thing happens.
Yeah.
Anything in this movie you think because this is an interesting one. It's not like Black Panther. It's not like the Marvel movies. It's not like Kingsman where we have to go all the way through. It's just a comedy.
Yeah.
Anything you think in this one that we hadn't hit that we had to?
No, I think we hit basically everything important. I mean, underlying story that they want to get pregnant.
One person didn't bring up that I want to give a mention to was Sharon Horgan.
Yeah,
she played Sarah. Great job playing that that opposite to Ryan's character.
True, yeah.
And basically being smarter
and British.
I love British. Well, I'm actually Irish, but
same island.
That's
actually not.
That's the best part. He's like, same island.
No, actually, it's not.
But even before they went into the murder mystery place to get the answer, she was like, "Oh, wait, you thought this was a date?" And he goes, "No, it wasn't a date," or vice versa.
Yeah.
Where obviously they both had different expectations of how this night was going to go. But anything you think we missed?
No, actually, I think that covers most of it.
But Johnny, let's end the podcast the review podcast like we always do.
Yes.
Given our review, given our rating, given our show stealer, let's start with the MVP of game night, our show stealer. Johnny, take it away. Who's your show stealer?
I'm giving it to Rachel McAdams as Annie.
As Georgina?
No, not Georgina.
As Georgina George?
Wrong movie.
I know. I was blown away.
Yeah, you were looking
I saw the IMDb today, and I was like, oh my God, she was in Mean Girls?
Yeah.
That's who she was. Didn't look like that in the movie. Maybe it's because she didn't have blonde hair.
Maybe
she didn't have, but I am going to complete your duo here. I'm going to give it to Jason Bateman because here's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Two things running through my head. At first, I'm like, I want to give it to Rachel McAdams, and then you were like, I'm giving it to Rachel McAdams. So
no, I'm giving it to her.
At this point, I'm in a position where I can do one of two things because there's a little bit of politics that go into this. Not a lot, but maybe a smidgen to where it's like, so the show stealer, what it does to let you guys know is at the end of the year, at the beginning of 2019, when we give out our awards for 2018, the actors and actresses of the year usually come from our show stealer of the year.
Yes.
So I can either give it to Rachel McAdams, she'd be the only nominee from game night, or because the duo of Bateman and her deserve a show stealer in its own.
True.
They deserve a show stealer on its own, I give it to Jason Bateman. That way we complete the duo. Because I feel like if one of those characters is just slightly different, McAdams isn't in there, someone else is in there, or Bateman's not in there, someone else is in there.
They may have not had the same chemistry.
It's not the exact same thing that we saw, which was great in this comedy and set up and made this comedy what it was. I do want to give an honorable mention, though, to Jesse Feldmans, who did play Gary in this one, as we talked about in spoiler mode. And all the creepy shit that he was doing through this movie. But Johnny, before we wrap everything up, we're doing game pieces, 5 of them. What's your rating out of 5 game pieces for game night?
Well, how many do you get when you play Sorry? You get 4 game pieces. I'm going to get 4.
Is that your way of saying sorry to game night that it didn't get a 5?
In a sense, yes.
Is that your roundabout way of saying I'm sorry?
I couldn't remember how many. I couldn't remember another game that you only get 4 game pieces.
No, and I'm going to be the same way. I'm going to give it a 4 as well. This was a really good movie.
It was a really good movie.
Made me laugh my ass off. It didn't really have any low points to where there are some movies where, I'll be honest, Lord of the Rings is the one that really got me in theaters because it's a 3-hour movie. It's got highs and lows, and especially during the low parts, you crack out your phone. You're like, all right, about an hour left of this movie. Okay. And you're interested. You're not bored, but it's like, okay, if I have to check my phone to see what time it is, your movie's not that interesting, or isn't that interesting at that part.
3 hours.
That's what I say with Lord of the Rings, because I love Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
You have my sword.
And my bow.
And Dave's axe.
Yes.
Because that's the joke that we had going on. But yeah, got to give it a 4. It was a good movie. Wasn't quite that great movie. Didn't go over the top for me to get the 5, but it was still a solid movie. I would go see it again. Yes. I would recommend people to go see it. It's a great date night movie.
It would be, yeah.
Great date night movie. It was done in an hour 40, which is hour 30, hour 40. Great for a date night. Go get some dinner. You're not wasting too much time. It's not like that 2-3 hour movie like a Marvel movie might be.
Hey, any girl that wants to be with me should expect to go see that movie.
Should expect to go see the Marvel movies. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Also, next movie Johnny and I will be reviewing will be next week. We're going to be watching Death Wish, the Bruce Willis movie. I almost forgot his name. Basically, it's Die Hard and Batman had a baby, I believe.
I still push more to Punisher.
Punisher, Batman, but it's in Chicago, so that's why
shooting
I say Batman. Shooting people, but Batman should be. Well, maybe should be. Well, maybe more Punisher. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below. We're doing Death Wish next week. If there's a movie that you want us to see, I'll be honest. Johnny and I have a whole list of movies we're going to do this year. However, if there's one that's coming out 2018, you want us to go see it, throw it down below in the comment section. It doesn't hurt to say, hey, this is a movie I would like you guys to, because, hey, if you guys want us to see a certain movie, we'll go review that movie. Yes. We want to do what you guys like. So go ahead, let us know any movies that you think we've got to see in 2018 to review for you guys. Before I go, little housekeeping here at the end, patreon.com. That link is in the description. The store for MVP is also in the description. MostValuablePodcast.com. That's where you're going to get everything from MVP each and every day. And please go on Apple Podcasts and iTunes and give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. Want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Want to thank you guys for listening to podcast services around the world for MVP. But as always, have a good day, everybody.